Lately, the NCAA season has been starting here in the US, but that's not going to be the only taste of short course swimming that we'll be getting, as the first stop of the World Aquatic Swimming World Cup is almost here. The 2024 World Cup is a series of 3 stops in 3 different locations over the course of 3 weeks, with all of the racing done in short course meters. The very first stop is in Shanghai, China on October 18th, and this stop had tickets sell out in mere minutes. There are many very high-profile athletes that will be swimming at this first stop, with many of them also committed to swimming the full 3-stop series. Some of them we've seen time and again in short course meters and they've proven their ability. Others are more of a mystery. So let's take a look at some of these athletes and maybe try to gauge what we can expect. Pan Jianla is coming off of an incredible Olympic Games in Paris, highlighted by him destroying his own world record in the 100 freestyle in long course. We have seen Pan race short course meters before, as he was in attendance at both the 2021 and 2022 short course world championships. His personal best time in the 100 free is a 45.77 from those 2022 world championships. When he went that time, his best time in the long course event was a 47.65, which he's obviously dropped over a second off of in the meantime, which means that even if he's not fully rested, we could be due for a big time drop. I do think that Kyle Chalmers' world record of 44.84 is gonna be a pretty tough nut to crack, especially if he's not fully tapered. But he's also gone so fast in long course that you can no longer leave anything off of the table entirely. He's just hit that threshold. Right now, Pan is the 25th fastest performer of all time in the event, but if he drops a little over 2/10, then he'll be right in the top 10. Speaking of world record holders, we did have a short course meters world record go down very recently, as Kaylee McEwen took down the 100 back world record at the Australian Short Course Championships. Her time of 54.56 knocked 0.3 of a second off of the former world record. She also blasted a 25.40 in the 50 backstroke, which makes her the second fastest performer behind only Maggie McNeil's world record. While McEwen did announce recently that she will no longer be competing at the Short Course World Championships at the end of the year, she is still expected to race at all 3 World Cup stops. McEwen may have some competition in the backstrokes, as Rean Smith will also be in attendance at this first World Cup stop. Rean Smith recently took down McEwen's long course 100 back world record at the 2024 US Olympic trials, and the two of these swimmers have been a dominant 1-2 punch in the backstroke events for a couple of years now. It's been a while since we've seen Smith swim short course meters. Her personal best in the 100 back is a 56.33 from November of 2017, so there's a lot of room for improvement for her to potentially challenge that 54.5 range. McEwen and Smith are both very fast in-season swimmers. It hasn't been uncommon in the past to watch as they trade the #1 time in the world from across the world, sometimes just hours apart. So the prospect of watching these two in-season powerhouses battle it out right next to each other for a change is a very promising one. Another swimmer that has a lot of in-season speed is Michael Andrew. Andrew is a regular face to see at World Cup stops, both short course and long course. His ability to swim fast at any time, coupled with his versatility in the sprints, makes him a far-reaching threat. The most interesting thing about Andrew this time around is his recent coaching change, as he will no longer be coached by his father for the first time in his career. Andrew has yet to announce his new coach to the world, but he is currently working with them, just not as a member of the group that he will eventually be training with. He is currently receiving his coach's instructions and training on his own. So this will be a quick and interesting insight into Andrew's current status, to see if he's more or less the same swimmer right now with just a short amount of time under a new training plan, or if we're already going to be seeing something new. Olympic champion Kate Douglas will also be in attendance. We've seen her race short course meters before at Short Course Worlds, but this will be our first look at her in a World Cup setting. Douglas was present at both the 2021 and 2022 Short Course World Championships. In 2022, she won double individual golds in the 200 IM and the 200 breast, so it's going to be interesting to see what she can get done at the World Cup. Leon Marchand was a dominant force at the Paris Olympics, and after spending some time back in his home country, we'll get to see him back in action at this first World Cup stop for the first time since those Olympics. Marchand has accomplished some absolutely insane things in both short course yards and long course meters, but his short course meters times are a little bit outdated. All of his best times in short course meters come from 20 2018 and 2019, all well before his major breakout in 2022. In fact, his best times in long course are actually all faster than his personal best times in short course, which is kind of funny. Marchand has some of the best underwaters in history, and as I've mentioned, he's pulled off some ridiculous feats during his time in the NCAA. If he can bring any of his swims and short course meters up to the same caliber of his long course meters or short course yard swims, then some world records might be toast. There are a ton of high profile swimmers that will be attending the World Cup, including plenty of 2024 Olympic champions. I can't mention all of them or else I'm gonna be here all day, but I'll provide a link from World Aquatics with the full entries down below. What swimmers are you most excited to see at this first World Cup stop? Is it a proven short course meters threat or someone who's less experienced in the format? Let me know down below.